Hello everybody and welcome here for the Conference League game, and I am here as Richard Keys as we've got a massive matchup on the cards as Newcastle United as they will play Villarreal in the first leg. And could Newcastle go all the way into the finals and win the whole entire thing is another matter, because Newcastle did quite well on knocking out Roma out on penalties in the quarter-finals of the Conference League, but now they do play here against Villarreal at home. A massive test still for Newcastle, as Villarreal is a real top team in Spain, and could they cope in the second leg and first leg, with Villarreal starting in the first leg here for tonight at St James Park Stadium. Let's get to the game for these two teams. And let's get straight now to the matchup here between Newcastle United and also Villarreal at St James Park Stadium, as the tsunami of Newcastle are playing here against Villarreal. And there's a lot to play for here for Newcastle and for the Toon, as Newcastle are a top team. And a top team obviously in the future, hopefully, for Newcastle. They can do real special things. And they do play here over Villarreal, and that's a massive game this will be for them to try and get anything in terms of this match. So we have Pope in goal, Shah, Dummett, Lascelles, Kraft, Murphy, Longstaff, Almiron, Bruno Guimaraes, Joelinton and Saint-Maximin. And that team of Newcastle have got that spirit to go all the way and win this game and get themselves in a European final. Newcastle have never done it before in their history. They've actually played in a European final. They could do if they end up winning here in Villarreal at home, and also the exact same thing away from home. But Villarreal have got a very good team, and not the strangers Villarreal in this competition, because Villarreal did reach the finals of the Conference League way back in 2022 and lost the finals against Chestergo Blue Tigers at the time, a Republican team. When they actually went to the finals, lost to them, and they almost could have won that European trophy at the time. And now 2 years later they might get themselves another European final under their belt. The only biggest problem Villarreal haven't done is not won a European trophy as a football club before. Villarreal have been through, let's say, getting into the La Liga in the first place. They were in the lower tiers of Spanish football 25 years ago, or a lot longer than that, and they've really got themselves up the ranks, up the leagues, got themselves established in La Liga, playing European football, not really getting themselves closer to a European final since the Conference League way back in 2 years ago against Chestergo. And now Villarreal now on the ball back here now. Now it's Slur. Now Sloth, now here's again now to Bainina, now to Moreno, now Moreno now to Elas. Elas now to Moreno here. Good defending there from Newcastle. Free kick given for Villarreal. Newcastle have got some great history as a football club. Forget about the trophies they haven't won as a football team for the first time since 1955. But Newcastle are an established Premier League team who've been in the Premier League now for so many years. They have some great names through the years, such as Alan Shearer, Michael Owen, Sir Bobby Robson as their manager through the years. There's some very good players, Newcastle, so probably be potentially a side could win something at the time. But it could be their time, it could be this season, to win their first ever major trophy for the first time in 70 years. And it could happen for the Geordies, it could happen. And they've got themselves against themselves a corner here. Villarreal take the corner against Newcastle United. And now it looks like Villarreal have got a little bit of something in this matchup so far now. Here's Mikel Merino. Pass the ball short here to Elas. Now Elas now cross the ball into the box. A great header there from Joelinton here for Newcastle. And now here's Anderson. Now Elliot Anderson, the youngster, with the ball. He's pushing through here for Newcastle. Pass there to Alan Saint-Maximin. Great run for Maximin. He tried to, but he couldn't. And now looks like Villarreal won the ball back here. Nice and tight at the back. And now here's Kuka. Now Kunkia. Now to Gerald Moreno. And now Moreno now the ball. Great defending there from Newcastle. And now here's Wilson. Now Alan Saint-Maximin, he's through there, Newcastle. Could be a chance to make it 1-0. Maximin, and he scored for Newcastle. And that didn't take long at all. And Newcastle put themselves in the lead here in the European semi-finals in the first leg. What a brilliant goal there from Alan Saint-Maximin. And their target all season maybe to try and get a good run into this Europa Conference League competition. And they're doing so. And it could be them to get themselves into the finals of the Conference League for next month in Lisbon. What a great goal there from Alan Saint-Maximin. He's got a great goal against Roma in the last round, by the way, to get themselves into the semis. And it looks like here that Villarreal manager right there looks furious that they're letting go in, as Newcastle are in front by Alan Saint-Maximin. And Newcastle fans will be very excited and very delighted that he did score for the team. And now good defending slightly there, but looks like here the referee has given a warning. It looks like a warning's been given for Eddie Anderson there for Newcastle to take out one of the players out, Gerald Moreno. And Eddie Howe looks a little bit furious. He does a little bit from that challenge, but apart from that, they've got to be very happy that Newcastle are in the lead, because Newcastle is not a type of team who wins trophies. As I said before, Newcastle have not won anything since 1955, 70 years ago now. And now here's Real Abidal. Now here's the Slough. Could be a chance to score. Oh, could have been a chance there for Villarreal to get back themselves in the game. But they are behind by 1 goal. And that could have been Villarreal 1-1 there. But great save there from Nick Pope. A perfect save. And now corner here for Villarreal. Now Villarreal got themselves a chance here from a corner. They pass the ball here short now to Ilas. Header. What a save. Nick Pope saved that one. Could have been a chance there for Villarreal to try and get something as possible. Great header there, but saved there from Nick Pope. And now another corner here now for Villarreal. Header away. And now here's Abidal. Now Linias. What a save there from Pope. And the goalkeeper right there makes some good saves there for Newcastle to stop that from going to the back of the net. It ain't going to be an easy tie for Newcastle against Villarreal. Villarreal have been in a European final before. Haven't won a European trophy before, Villarreal as a football team. They are very new to not winning those sort of things, but it could be massive if they can end up winning the Europa Conference League here this season. And now here's Dania. What a save there, punch away there from Pope. Now Anderson there. Lost the ball back in. Newcastle a bit in a dangerous position now, but good defending now. Lewis Hall now to Joelinton. Now Joelinton now holds it tight here for Newcastle here. Now here's to Callum Wilson. Oh, now got one the ball back here now, Villarreal. Now here's Real Abidal. Now Gerald Moreno. And now here's Alexander Slough, former Crystal Palace striker. Now to Moreno. Chance in now. Could be a goal potentially here for Villarreal. And Villarreal really putting the pressure here on Newcastle. Only Newcastle had one good chance. That one chance was a goal from Maximin. And since then, Newcastle have been the second best here at home. And now Maximin now throws the ball there to Joelinton. Now here's Kane Kraft. And that's going to be half time. And Newcastle are 1 goal up in the matchup here over Villarreal, as Alan Saint-Maximin is the only goal scorer in that first half. But Villarreal's been all over them here. But it ends at half-time score here as Newcastle United 1, Villarreal 0 at half-time. And Newcastle United are here for the second half, and let's see what happens from this matchup. As Newcastle have been brilliant in that first half, but can they score more goals in the second half? That's the question. And now here's Bania now at the ball for Villarreal. Now Slough. Great defending there from Newcastle. Slough on the ball back here, but could have been. Wait a second here, might be given something. No, looks like a goal kick. And now Jacob Murphy comes off the pitch, or on the pitch, sorry I meant, and Eddie Anderson comes on. And Jeremy Pino's come on as well for Villarreal. So 2 substitutes to be made here for the Newcastle Villarreal side now. Bruno Guimaraes. And now here's Callum Wilson now to Jacob Murphy. Now Murphy's through. Could be a chance here for a goal here for Murphy. Save right there for the goalkeeper. Brilliant save. He really put the pressure right there on the goalie there. And now it looks like Sven Botman there comes on the field, and Emil Kraft comes off the field. But Eddie Howe will be very proud of, obviously, Newcastle being. They might want to score more than one goal because Villarreal are still a good side. And still a threat they are. And they're still in this tie still. Another corner here given here for Newcastle. A little bit electric in this second half, a little bit, comparison to the first half. First half, one great goal from Maximan, but not really create enough chances. Villarreal all over Newcastle in that first half though, despite Newcastle leading. But now Newcastle got a little bit of control so far in this second half now. A header maybe? No. Chance here for Guimaraes. Now Alan Maximan now. Lewis Hall. Good defending. Now here's Longstaff. Now here's Hall. Tackle there, free kick's been given. A crunching tackle on that young teenager there, Lewis Hall. And it looks like here that the referee there's going to give a yellow card there given to the player for Villarreal. Giorgio Cancille comes to a booking for him. And now Cancille there got a yellow card for that reckless challenge on Lewis Hall for Newcastle. And let's see what they can do from this here, Newcastle, from this free kick. So Newcastle free kick in this match. So it looks like here we've got, looks like the Bruno Guimaraes taking this free kick. He's more of a free kick specialist compared to the other Newcastle players in the team. So let's see what he can do with this free kick. And now here's Guimaraes. Free kick here for Newcastle. And now Murphy has a shot. Good block. Murphy again. Good block again from Villarreal. And now Newcastle on the ball back again here. Cross to the box here. And a goal's been given. Newcastle 2 goals up. And 2-0. And Callum Wilson is on the scoreline. And Newcastle extend the lead here over Villarreal. What a perfect finish right there for him. I've got to say, what an absolute perfect chance here for Newcastle to create something in this game. And they are 2-0 up to the good here in this matchup. Brilliant. Brilliant hit. On his first time laces on that as well. That beautiful, terrific shot there from Callum Wilson to put that ball past the goalkeeper to make it 2-0 to Newcastle in the match. And 2-0. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant goal there from Callum Wilson. And he'd be very proud on that. I think the whole Newcastle team would be very, very proud. And the fans as well. That first time for his laces into that back of the net. First time strike was brilliant. Terrific. Perfect. And now Newcastle are really doing quite well here to be leading by 2-0 in the first leg of the Europa Conference League. We still know that Newcastle have to go to Villarreal next week and create something in that match. They do have a whole week to prepare for that because they've got no games this weekend due to the fact that Newcastle are already out of the FA Cup. So they've got the whole weekend to prepare themselves in that second leg in Spain for next Thursday. But here's now to Wilson here. Now Sean Longstaff. Now pass there to Slur. Now his chance here now for Livramento now. Great pass here, control here for Newcastle. Livramento now, hold it nice and tight here, holding the ball here now. Here's Jacob Murphy. 3-0 could be given for Newcastle, but saved right there for the goalkeeper. And now Newcastle getting very impressive so far in this matchup. Another chance here for them. And now Villarreal have got themselves a substitution, by the way, in this game. And the match will be nearly over here between Newcastle and Villarreal. Cross into the box. Header. And now Firmino. Now Slur. And now here's a chance for Gades. Now Gades. And now here's a chance here now all the way to Gerard Moreno. And now here's a chance for Gudez. Could be a goal for Villarreal. Head away there from Newcastle. Now header there now for Gerard Moreno. Oh God, there's a chance here for a goal potentially for Villarreal to get back in the game. If they can get a goal back for Villarreal, that'd be something in terms of confidence, of course, into that second leg. Now Paul Dummett comes on the field and the young teenager Lewis Hall comes off. And also Villarreal have got a substitution also in this match. So let's see what happens from here now. Cross into the box here now from Newcastle. Keeper comes out of his goal, and a chance for Villarreal to score here. But another corner again. We are near the end of the game, by the way, for full time, and the goalkeeper comes out for this corner. They want to get all bodies in that box as possible for Villarreal to get maybe a chance here to get that away goal before they go and play at home for next week's second leg of the semi-finals of the Conference League. And now here's a chance here now for Villarreal to do so. Head away there from Newcastle. And now here's to Jolinton. The whistle blow any minute now for full time. Newcastle get this massive victory here in the first leg to take that 2-goal victory away to Villarreal next week. Jolinton. And it is all over, and Newcastle have done it. And a massive win in the semi-finals in this European competition for them in the UEFA Conference League, as Newcastle need that 2 goals in this aggregate scoreline to take into that game for next week, because you've got massive chances now for Newcastle to go into the finals of the UEFA Conference League in Lisbon for next month. A massive win and a massive goal there from Maximan and also for Callum Wilson as it ends there at full time, as Newcastle United 2, Villarreal 0 at full time in the match. The official results of the semi-finals of the UEFA Conference League, as Padres Impact 1, Bayern Leverkusen 0, and Newcastle United 2, Villarreal 0. So that'll mean that coming up, of course, for this weekend in the FA Cup taking place on Saturday, as we do have Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United, and then Man City will take on Arsenal live on Sunday on BBC for this weekend coming up. And that's all we have time for here right now for the UEFA Conference League first leg, as Newcastle United have got themselves that massive victory to almost head them through into the finals of the Conference League, but they have to wait till next week in the second leg away from home at Villarreal if it's determined that Newcastle went through into the finals in their first ever European final. But that's it from me here right now for Richard Keys, as we'll see you guys for next week with some more Conference League football with Newcastle travel to Villarreal. Have a good night, everyone.